It is time for Cardinals baseball. Another gorgeous afternoon in Jupiter, Florida. Packed house here at Roger Dean Stadium as we face the Detroit Tigers here on Bally Sports Midwest. Hi again, everybody. I'm Chip Carey with Brad Thompson. Great camp so far for the Cardinals. 16 runs yesterday, Brad, and what's been called camp opportunity. It's been great seeing all these young kids not just get playing time, but make the most of it.
No, it really has. That's what you want. As a young player, you get a chance to go to big league camp. You want to make an impression. Well, these guys overall have made a huge impression, and for some of these guys, expedited their time to the big league. A guy like Mason Wynn has done exactly that.
Almost hit for the cycle yesterday for the Redbirds. This kid's done everything both at the plate and in the field.
He has. Everybody knew about this slick fielding that he's got, but he's swinging the bat. You see the average. You see the fact that he's just taken advantage of it. He's hit for power, and he's put himself in the conversation of a guy that will be in the big leagues sooner rather than later.
He's opened a lot of eyes here in Jupiter, and we will get to baseball. Redbirds and the Tigers from Roger Dean Stadium coming up next. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Shelter Insurance. For your auto, home, and life, we're your shield, we're your shelter. By Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. And brought to you by your Quality Ford dealers, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. It is perfect weather in South Florida. Sunny, a few puffy clouds overhead. No, things are chilly in St. Louis. 26 degrees in Cardinal Nation. It's 27 and snowing in Detroit. Brad, thankfully we're not playing there as the Cardinals host the Tigers.
Yeah, I'll take this right now, and certainly the Cardinals will too, as they're still trying to figure some things out. There are still jobs to be won. So far in this spring training, it's been a very productive camp, a camp that we've talked about. Ollie Marmol said there's a lot of opportunity out there, and we're seeing a lot of guys take advantage of it.
Had to be pleased with what happened yesterday. The Cardinals racked up 16 runs. Mason Wynn had a big day. Heck, all the Cardinals hitters had a big day. And today you hope Matthew Liberatore has a big day as he faces the Detroit Tigers.
Well, Libby's coming out for his third start of the spring so far, and I think that we've seen a more focused Matthew Liberatore. Maybe just getting those bugs out. First year under his belt. We saw him last year, 9 games, 7 starts, and the numbers were fine for him, but you know there's more for Matthew Liberatore. The pitch arsenal last season, he'd use the sinker, he'd ride the four-seam up. Curveball's his best pitch, but I think that we're going to see him in the strike zone a lot more instead of nibbling.
And he'll face a Tiger club that's traveling from Lakeland. They've got 3 big leaguers on their lineup card for A.J. Hinch, their skipper. That trio, Spencer Torkelson, the #1 overall pick in the draft a couple of years ago. Eric Haas, who might be their starting catcher, and longtime big league veteran Cesar Hernandez. He'll be the designated hitter. Zach Short getting ready to lead things off for the Tigers, who, Brad, have really had a rough go of it. They've had a lot of injuries to their young pitching staff. Their #1 picks haven't been hitting the way they hoped or as quickly. And for A.J. Hinch and company, it looks like it's going to be another, well, shall we say, take a few steps forward kind of year in Motor City.
That's kind of how you have to look at it. If you're A.J. Hinch, if you're trying to evaluate the Tigers, you evaluate the young players and how much better do they get during the season. You're not going to expect to go win the division, but can you get incrementally better? And can some of your veteran guys help out a lot of these young guys to take that next step?
Well, if the spring numbers are any indication, the Tigers have had a good run so far down here in Florida. They come into play with a 12-10 mark, so we'll see how today's play unfolds as the first from Liberatore is a called strike to Zach Short, who's hitting .296 this spring. A former Cubs farmhand. They acquired him for Cameron Maybin a couple of years ago. Very quickly, it's 0-2 for Liberatore, who's got a 1.80 spring ERA. And that's how you want to start. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 man down.
Well, it can't get any better. Can't get any better for the Toyota. Key to the game right now, it's hone the heater. That's the thing for Matthew Liberatore. We know he's got that big bender, and it's a really good curveball, but the fastball command, to me, that's the next level. That's what's going to be able to open up that big breaking ball. So far, so good.
This is Ryan Kreidler, the second-place hitter for the Tigers. He's hit a homer this spring. A 4th-round pick for Detroit 4 years ago. Good breaking ball in for a strike. One thing the Tigers have done well this spring, they've hit the ball out of the ballpark a lot. 38 home runs for Detroit. One behind the Phillies, who've hit 39 of them so far this spring. I don't know if that'll carry over into regular season play with the gigantic dimensions of Comerica Park, but that's something, again, for Tigers fans to be excited about.
Well, we know it's a power-driven game, right? Everybody is looking for the long ball. We know that one swing of the bat can shift a ball game, and they got a few guys that can do that.
After a brief pause, Kreidler digs back in and doesn't get the breaking ball. It's fouled at the plate. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. One thing that stood out for me, Brad, this spring is how good the Cardinals pitching has been. Starters, relievers, you name it, they've really opened a lot of eyes, as you said a moment ago.
They've been very good, and a couple of the starters have been gone at the World Baseball Classic, as we all know, and Adam Wainwright and Miles Michaelis, and it's provided more innings for different guys out there, and everybody seems to be taking advantage of it. And again, this is a big start. Every time that Matthew Liberatore has a chance to take the mound, it's another opportunity for him. The sky is the limit, just trying to figure it all out and piece it together.
No swing, and Kreidler earns a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Bases empty, 1 out, top of the first. And after jumping ahead in the count, Matthew loses his man, a 1-out walk for Andy Ibanez. Different look, Brad, for the Cardinals defensively here against the Tigers.
Well, it certainly is, and it's nice to see Tommy Edman back. Mason Wynn shifts over to second base. We've seen him there before. Burleson and Motter on the corners. Contreras behind the plate. He swung the bat really well yesterday. And in the outfield from left to right, Pinder, Dylan Carlson, and Juan Yepes gets the start in right.
This is Andy Ibanez, hitting .286 this spring. He's the Tigers' third baseman today. And driven out of play, foul. They'll have a new face over at the hot corner in Detroit. Nick Matone, the former Philadelphia Philly, figures to get the nod at third base on opening day for A.J. Hinch. The Cardinals will see the Tigers this year, by the way. Detroit will be in St. Louis the first week of May. Had a good rip at that 95-mile-an-hour heater, but fouled back. It's still 0-2.
Yeah, good spot right there, too. Sinker starts on the corner, ends off the plate, trying to get him to expand a little bit.
Fought off a breaking ball.
One of the focuses they had last year with Matthew Liberatore was how to get him to keep his velocity through a game. You'd see the 95 early on, and then it would tail off. So really working on just continually building that up and keeping that stamina out there, because when he's 95 with that breaking ball, he's tough to hit.
On the ground to third. Motter, nice play. Second base, one. Cannon arm to first. He is in time, and a double play. 5-4-3, and we go to the home first. Well, Brad, you said it a moment ago. Good to have Tommy Edman back atop the lineup, playing shortstop. His first game action here in Jupiter since February 25th.
Tommy pumped up to be back as well. We got a chance to talk to him before the game. He's excited to be back in the action. Had a great time at the World Baseball Classic, but now he's looking to get to work.
Matthew Boyd of the Tigers is the pitching opponent. Boyd in his second stint with the Tigers, hoping to have a rebound year in Motor City. Hit high, the air toward left. Short drifts back to the edge of the warning track. That ball carries out to the wall, and he hauls it in for out number one. Not much wind to speak of if you check out the flags in right, but that one carried a long way as you see Matthew Boyd's pitch arsenal.
Yeah, fastball, slider, changeup. That changeup for Matthew Boyd is a pitch that he's really been focusing on this spring training. Want to throw more. He wants it against the right-handed hitters to keep them honest, and he's changed his grip on that as well to look like his other pitches.
Dylan Carlson jumps on the first pitch and drives that softly to right. He's retired quickly. And two men are out here in the home first as we look at the Tigers defensive lineup for today's play. There's Spencer Torkelson, the first overall pick in the draft for Detroit. He's had an improved run this spring, and they're hoping for bigger things from Eric Haas behind the plate. Short Davis and Carpenter. Gary Carpenter, a highly thought of prospect out of Virginia Tech, is their right fielder. Here's Juan Yepez, 10 RBIs this spring. And Yepez used his timeout before he set foot in the box.
Well, you think about that, might be a well-timed one too, with two very quick outs. Give yourself a little bit more time heading into this at bat. Think through it fast. It's that changeup.
You can see why Boyd would be tough to hit.
Yeah, for sure. And especially if he can add that wrinkle in. He'd mainly been fastball, slider. Slider's the out pitch, but that changeup right there had great depth to it.
Lots of kneecaps, elbows, and really hides the ball well as he turned that one over and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boyd making his 4th start. Last time out, 4 innings of scoreless ball, struck out 6.
That's uncomfortable right there. You get a look at the changeup that goes away from the right-handed hitter, then that slider that bores in on the hands.
High pop again toward right. Kerry Carpenter will have plenty of room, and Boyd breezes through the bottom of a scoreless first. Glad you're with us here on Bally Sports Midwest. Mason Wynn showed off his arm in the first inning. He might want to show off his arm at another position someday in the big leagues if needed.
For sure, 100%. I mean, I think about it a lot. I'm not too worried about it just because, you know, I love playing shortstop, but I know for sure if shortstop ever doesn't work out, I'll be a big league pitcher, so I'm not worried about that at all.
Managers, general managers, pitching coaches love guys who can throw 100 no matter where they play. And long toss across, bad throw, and Burleson with the tag on the way by. Spencer Torkelson will reach as Tommy Edmonds' throw looped to first. That'll be an E6. So as we said in the first inning, there might only be one second baseman in the Grapefruit League that even tries to get this double play turn.
Yeah, it's the guy that can throw 100 miles an hour. You see there, no time to get any momentum on that throw, just slings it and gets that double play. It's been such an impressive camp for Wynn. Doing everything that they could ask him to do, and certainly when he was drafted as a shortstop / pitcher, and the thought was really he'd probably end up on the bump at some point, but all he's done is hit. He's played great shortstop. Really, I think has opened up so many eyes in the organization what he does as an overall athlete.
And he's getting playing time because he's earned it, but also Paul DeYoung's still not 100%, right?
He's taken advantage of it. Every single time he's been out on the field, he's done something to put another check in the box of Mason Wynn.
Eric Haas, normally a lefty killer, is down on strikes. A 75-mile-an-hour pitch earns Liberatore's second strikeout. Check this out.
Good bender from Matthew, and the key again is setting things up with the fastball. Everybody knows how good his breaking ball is, but if you don't have a fastball that you can throw and specifically you can elevate, that curveball is not going to be as effective.
Cesar Hernandez, the batter. He's been around a long time in the big leagues. This guy's always been a really good player.
Yeah, I think that when you have a young team that is trying to build, Cesar Hernandez is a great guy to bring around. A guy that's been in the big leagues for a long time, can show some of these guys the ropes and also just contribute day in and day out.
Cesar, a .310 batting average. He's the designated hitter for Detroit today. And of course the Tigers will have their biggest name back for his final season. This is the last go round for Miguel Cabrera.
I'm sure that will be quite a celebration in the final year. We've seen him hit milestone after milestone, arguably one of the best right-handed hitters ever in the game.
Chopper toward Motter, second base one. Wynn unloads again. Wow. Wow. 2 double plays in the first 2 innings. And start your season with victory. Pick the winner of every team's opening day game and compete to win the ultimate baseball game day experience with Opening Day Pick'em, presented by Chevrolet. Restrictions apply. See rules and enter at MLB.com/pick'em. That's exactly what the Cardinals defense has done in the first 2 innings. Man, the ballpark buzzing about Mason Wynn's arm at second.
Showing it off big time. And by the way, great first half of these double plays. Motter making some nice plays, really good feeds over there at third base. Another guy that's had a solid camp here for the Cardinals. But yeah, everybody talking about Walker, Wynn. Tink Hens had been sent down to the minor league camp, but a huge buzz around him. Future's bright. Nice sequence so far from Boyd. Showed off the curveball early. That time the backdoor slider.
Wilson Contreras takes his timeout. First time this spring. He's played 3 games in a row in various roles.
Swung the bat really well yesterday, driving the ball with authority.
He had a 3 RBI game as, again, the Cardinals were scorching hot. This ball scorched towards center. That ball is high off the fence. Contreras on his way to second. Nobody covers the bag, and he'll stand there unopposed with a leadoff double here in the second.
Well, Boyd's been working on the changeup, trying to be an out pitch, and honestly wasn't that bad of a pitch. But Contreras goes down and gets it, and it wasn't even a big swing from him. He's just a strong guy, gets the barrel to it, and this ball kept on traveling about a foot away from being out of the ballpark. Hey, he's going to look good in this lineup.
So here's Alec Burleson. See if he can get Contreras over at the very least with nobody out here in the second. He's going to do that and more. A base hit to right center. Here comes Contreras around third. There'll be no play at the plate. Alec Burleson with an ambush, and the Cardinals strike first.
Those are the types of at-bats in spring training games that end up putting you on a team. You could tell exactly what he was looking for. He was looking for a pitch near the middle. He finds a wide open right side and shoots it right through there. This ball hit hard, too, from Alec Burleson. Ollie talking about Alec before the game said the numbers don't really bear out how well he's swinging the bat and the adjustments that he's made. Look good there.
Taylor Motter, the batter. That hit is an example of how differently the game is going to look in 2023. Shift might have been on. That might have been an out rather than a hit. But Alec glad to have the run scoring knock as he stands at first with nobody out. And fouled away.
How have you liked that aspect of it so far?
You know, I have mixed emotions about it. I think you ought to be able to play your defense however you want to play it. What's frustrating is that the game has evolved to the point where we don't see major league hitters in many instances able to manipulate the bat and ball and hit them where they aren't.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's ability as much as they don't want to do it because you get paid for what are you incentivized for, right?
Home runs, exactly. Yeah, so it's sort of a vicious cycle, if you will. But we've seen this spring more balls in play, more base hits, more runs, more action, and of course the faster pace as that one is launched. Goodbye. Taylor Motter with a line drive home run. The Cardinals put their hitting shoes on yesterday and haven't taken them off. Double single homer. It's 3-0.
Motter's great camp is continuing here. He jumps on a fastball. It's up in the zone. I mean, this is up around the letters, and the quick hands able to get to it. He's swinging it.
So here is Mason Wynn. There's an interesting note on him in the Cardinals pregame press notes. As you see, Motter celebrates his second spring homer. Mason Wynn is 6 for 7 at the plate against left-handed pitching.
Safe to say he's comfortable.
Man, oh man.
The impressive thing with me as I've watched Wynn is his approach. He's not up there. He's not jumpy. He's got a very good eye for such a young hitter. Good example of it there.
You've been around a long time. it's one thing to see kids come up from minor league camp and get an at-bat or a game or two. First, the 2-1 pitch. It's the stuff that doesn't happen between the white lines that I think is just as illuminating. The way he carries himself, he is not at all overmatched or intimidated by this big league camp experience.
No, he looks and acts like he belongs here, but he does so with respect. I'm not saying that this is a young 20-year-old player who just, I've got it all figured out, but he's got a confidence about him, and he should have that confidence about him. The way that he plays this game, I think that confidence is actually what gets him over the hump.
Little dribbler hit toward first, in between play, and Boyd and Torkelson miscommunicate, and Wynn reaps the reward.
Well, for Mason Wynn, doesn't always have to be the double in the gap, does it? It can be one. It's a well-placed ball right here. He shows off the speed a little bit. This communication, this is why you do it in spring training all the time. It's PFPs. Boyd's got to be breaking straight across the straight line from the mound to first base. If you can't get it on that straight line, it's got to be Torkelson's ball.
So he's 7 for 8 against lefties now.
No big deal.
With an infield hit. And 4 straight Cardinals have reached via hit. And a pause to give Boyd a moment after he had to break toward the first base bag. Cardinals enter play today with the top win percentage in Grapefruit League action.
Pretty impressive with all of the pieces that have been gone for the Cardinals at the World Baseball Classic. Overall, they sent more players than anybody in the game. Notably still missing are a couple of your stars on the corners and Goldie and Arenado, and they're figuring out ways to win games, just showing off some of that depth.
So the Cardinals, who put together a 9-run inning yesterday, they have 3 across so far here in the second and nobody out. Andrew Kisner, the batter. And they've got Wynn picked off with a good throw. So Boyd helps himself. He picks off Mason Wynn for the first out.
Well, a good job by Boyd to slow things down a little bit, and he just caught Mason Wynn with that quick move. And another learning moment, right, for Mason Wynn. You get picked off there in that situation. How do you do it? And how do you make sure it doesn't happen again?
Kisner with a couple of hard hit balls yesterday. His average up to 148. That's another one of the opportunities or battles, shall we say, this spring. Who's going to back up Contreras behind the plate?
Yeah, Tres Barrera has they've liked what he's doing behind the plate. We saw Kisner last year. He caught more innings than Yadier Molina. It's the first time that had been done since Mike Matheny. Like to see him get some things going offensively this camp.
Pop fly foul back out of play. You know, casual fans might say, well, this guy's hit at every level he's played in the minor leagues, but he hasn't had that kind of luck in the majors. What is that biggest difference between AAA and, say, the show?
I think that the first couple of stints for Kiz in the big leagues, it's the reps. He just wasn't getting at-bats. When you're playing behind Yadier Molina, you're not getting everyday at-bats. It's hard to get better and better if you're not doing so. Last year, I think he was just kind of thrust into action and ended up, I think that a lot of his focus was on what he was doing behind the plate, as opposed to just him being a hitter, which he needed to. If you're filling in for Yadi, you got to make sure you know your staff really well. I think there's still a lot more there offensively for him, but he's got to continue to work through it.
Good breaking ball from Boyd. His first strikeout. Quickly 2 away for Chad Pinder. And I think that's the other part that's forgotten about. Your responsibility as a catcher first is what you just said. Handle your staff. Anything we get offensively from you is perceived to be a bonus.
Well, you know this, and that was the case with Yadi when he broke into the big leagues. Tony La Russa called him in and said, I do not care what you do with the bat. Don't care at all. You take care of this staff. You go catch. Anything else is great. Like you said, it's a bonus. And then Yadi, throughout his career, he turned himself into a very, very good hitter. Now, expectations a tiny bit different with Wilson Contreras. He's already got the hit tool. You expect that. Add him to a powerful lineup already. And he's showing off his arm behind the plate in this camp also.
That off right, and it's in the home plate umpire. Wicked shot, got the mask on the way by. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, that's a thankless job back there, isn't it? Get beat up on a lot. And you have no friends. It's tough. It's a tough job. Very friendly people, but somebody's always yelling at you from one side.
3-1 for Chase Pinder. And a good eye. He'll flip the lineup card back to the top, and Tommy Edman, who almost homered his first time up. Boyd not having as much luck against the Cardinals this time as he did in his first start against them up in Lakeland. Boyd struck out 7 Cardinals in their first head-to-head matchup. He's down 3 and still pitching in this second inning. We have a clock violation on Boyd, so Edman will have a 1-0 count.
Those are ones too. As a pitcher, they can be frustrating. You get that, you're frustrated, then maybe you make a mistake afterwards because you're angry at yourself. He did a good job of just, all right, fine, take my ball. Here's the slider in there for strike 1, even the count.
Tommy shoots the ball to the right side for a base hit. Carpenter got to it quickly, so Edman has his first hit back from the WBC, and the Cardinals' long inning continues.
For Tommy Edman, there was only one thing that he could do with that pitch. It was a slider. It was down and away. It was right where he was looking for this thing to be, but he shoots it through the right side. You try to pull that, you end up being in trouble. Just good job staying right on it, driving it through the right side. So you almost hit a homer in your first at-bat to left field and then shoot one through the right side. Pretty complete hitter.
Let's see what Dylan Carlson does. He swung at the first pitch and flied out. Takes one here for a strike. Do you like what you're seeing from Carlson so far this spring?
Yeah, I do. And this is the side of the plate that we know he's comfortable with. The numbers have bared that out throughout his career. But his swing has looked better from the left side of the plate also. I think that there's such a skill set there with Dylan Carlson. He's still very young. You're just waiting for that day where you see it totally unlock. We've seen flashes of it. Maybe this is the year for DC. I hope it is.
Driven foul out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. Contreras started the inning with a double. Alec Burleson brought him home with a base hit. Motter a 2-run homer, and now 2 on 2 out for Dylan Carlson here in the second. Pitch is really piling up for Matthew Boyd. This will be his 40th. And it was a beauty. A big bender ends the Cardinals' second, but 3 runs on 5 hits. Cardinals rolling in Jupiter. The big blow, a Motter 2-run homer. To the third we go. 3-0 Cardinals. Matthew Liberatore's got a couple of double plays turned behind him. He struck out 2, walked 1 in his first 2 innings. And he has the Tigers' lower third coming up here in the top of the 3rd inning. Jermaine Palacios, Kerry Carpenter, and Jonathan Davis, that trio.
I like seeing that. I just like seeing Matthew Liberatore in command of counts. 23 pitches, 18 strikes so far. That's the big key for him. The stuff is big. How much can he be in the strike zone, put it where he wants, and then he can bury people with that good breaking ball.
And that's the other big competition in camp. If you're left-handed, you've got a shot.
It's true. It's very true.
Driven foul. The ball and 2 strikes.
We were talking to Ollie before the game about how competitive this bullpen is. You got a lot of good arms and a lot of guys that will deserve to be on the ball club, but you only have so many spots. It'll be tough. Saw Contreras right there with Matthew Liberatore. Told him, hey, keep your shoulder in. You just pulled off a little bit. Tried to give something a little extra on that fastball.
Well, so each pitch, each appearance takes on added weight now. We're 12 days away from opening day. And the Cardinals host the Blue Jays at Busch Stadium. As this one hammered down the right field line. Long run for Yepez still coming, and he'll run out of real estate. I'm told there are still some limited tickets available for opening day. They're $44. You can go to Cardinals.com to see Ollie's crew begin the 2023 season in St. Louis.
Well, Chip, you know,
opening day's a spectacle.
Oh, it's so fun. It is special for those that have been. If you were thinking about it, you thought, oh, they're sold out. No, like, get your ticket. If you've never been, that would be a great opportunity now to do so. It is fun. It is a blast.
Full count pitch. Up the middle, but right at the second base bag. Win positioned perfectly. That's about as close to a shift as you'll see in today's game. And it worked out perfectly. 1 out.
Well, it was a pitch, fastball on the corner, and you had a guy right there perfectly. And you're right. You know, that's something we haven't seen yet in spring. We've seen a bunch of different penalties for the pitcher or for the hitter. We haven't seen a penalty yet on a shift. Thought that teams might try some different things, but so far so good. Everybody playing by the new rules.
About the biggest extent of that is we've seen a couple of teams use an outfielder as the rover. That's about it.
Forget who did it against Joey Gallo. And Joey was probably like, come on, guys. I thought we were done with this.
Can't a guy get a break?
Right? Do we have to change these rules again?
But I think you made a great point earlier this spring. I bet a lot of teams are holding those cards, if you will, close to the vest and don't want to tip their hands before the games count.
Yeah, I would agree. And I feel the same way about how they're going to really utilize the pitchers stepping off and the limited pickoffs. I think teams are going to be far more aggressive base running in the regular season than they've shown here in spring.
Back to the netting foul from Kerry Carpenter, who's had a nice spring. He's a kid from Florida, Eustis, Florida. That's up near Orlando. And he has thrust himself into some conversations for the Tigers, who are in the midst of a long rebuild. Tigers were 66 and 96 last year. That one about 96 from Liberatore for his 3rd strikeout.
So you're thinking about the big breaking ball when you're up there. You got to defend against that. Don't forget about 96 upstairs, spotting that one where he wants it. It's the biggest key. We talked about it coming in. Hone the heater. You put that ball where you want it. Everything else is going to open up for Matthew.
Well, his 3rd game, 2nd start. He's doubled his strikeout total this spring. He entered with a 1.80 ERA. That's heading south. So all things trending well for Matthew Liberatore, who gets ahead 0-2 on Jonathan Davis here.
I really like him being able to drive that fastball to the glove side. That's something that we've grown accustomed to watching Steven Matz do so well. Jordan Montgomery do it so well. Keeps you honest. If you can throw that fastball into the righties, then it opens up the outer half of the plate.
At the knees, strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Matthew Liberatore. He enjoys a 3-0 lead. May 6th, Busch Stadium hosts the 18th annual Purina Pooches in the Ballpark Day. Come enjoy a ball game with man's best friend beside you. A limited number of tickets are on sale now at Cardinals.com/Pooches. Brad and Chip with you in Jupiter. Cardinals lead 3-0 in the home 3rd. Juan Yepez almost got hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Any chance the new Thompson canine makes her first visit on Pooches in the Park Day?
I mean, I think that we could use a 3rd person in the booth that day. Prop her up in between us. Be good to go.
And the dog's name is?
That one's Poppy.
Poppy. That's a good name.
Not to be confused with David Ortiz. This has a Y at the end.
She's already a better fielder, I can promise you that. 2 balls, no strikes for Juan Yepez, who flied out his first time. He's had a nice spring. 10 ribbies for him, as we told you. And we've almost belabored the point, but it's really true, Brad. This is camp opportunity. It's also camp competition.
Yeah.
When you see what Mason Wynn has done, when you see what Jordan Walker has done. Burleson today as Yepez skies that one towards center. And that'll carry out toward Kerry Carpenter at right for out number 1. With the unexpectedly great play of a guy like Jordan Walker, how does that affect what Juan Yepez hopes to accomplish?
Well, it definitely takes up another spot, right? And at bats, the numbers here for Jordan Walker. I mean, look at the ranks this spring, and the team is hitting for average, hitting for power, doing it all. You knew that Walker had a chance to hit his way onto this team coming into spring, and it looks like that's exactly what he's doing to this point. So he's going to potentially take up some of these ABs, and that's what you want as a manager and as a staff. You want these guys fighting it out, and you want tough decisions to make. And you know what? It's okay to have good depth, too. It's okay to have somebody on a bench who could end up starting for you the next day or take a huge at-bat for you later.
Contreras pops this one toward Torkelson at first, and that's an easy play for the second out. So Ali Marmol, talking with us before the game, said exactly that. There are going to be some tough decisions that have to be made here in the next 7 to 10 days.
And as we've talked about a lot during camp, everybody wants to be a part of the 26-man roster that breaks north out of spring training. But it takes a lot more than that 26-man roster to go win a championship. So do what you can here, leave an impression.
Which is what Burleson has done for his manager. We haven't had much time to talk about Alec. You look at his line, you say, oh, 3 RBIs, hitting about $170. He hasn't had a good camp, but Ali Marmol would disagree with that assessment.
They like the way that he's spraying the ball around the yard. The hard hit rates are up for him. They believe that the ball is going to start dropping. He said there's no way he's that unlucky all the time. Another hard hit ball right there, 104 off the bat.
But it's hit right to the second baseman, and Boyd has his second 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 4th. Risk for our director Tom Mee. He knows how dangerous it is to show a fan with Cracker Jacks when a carry's in the booth.
Yeah, there is some deep-rooted issues with prizes that may or may not be in every bag. I think they've got that sorted out by now.
But he had one. He had a prize.
Thank goodness.
Whew, could have had a crisis. There you go. Got enough popcorn to share for everybody. Zach Short goes to work here in the 4th inning. Liberators look great. He's faced the minimum. You would say that's a Cracker Jack performance. Popped up, shallow right. Yepez coming on. It'll drop in front for a soft single, and Zach Short has the first Tigers hit of the game.
Chip, before you ask, I'm not going to feed you Cracker Jacks throughout the season. I know that you probably have a lot of things that you'd like to have happen. That's not going to be one of them, just so you know.
Grapes will be fine.
That's okay. Health first.
The Liberatore has another base runner. First hit he's allowed. He's gotten 2 double plays turned behind him. And Ryan Kreidler, the batter, he walked and was doubled up in the Tigers' first inning.
For Libby, even that hit was another well-located fastball.
This one driven harder toward right. Yepez going back, reaches up at the wall, and he makes a nice running catch. And Kreidler's retired for out number 1. Wind might have helped a bit. It's picked up, blowing from right to left.
Yeah, it definitely did. This ball was hit pretty well off the bat here, but Juan Yepez does a good job of just tracking it the entire time. He knows exactly where he's at. He gets to the track, has room, and makes the play.
Andy Ibanez hit into the first of 2 Tigers double plays today. And had a healthy cut. Strike 1. That one, bill of the cap high, and he couldn't resist. 0-2.
Ibanez's not getting cheated up there in his first couple of hacks.
And Liberatore's throwing hard today. He's got a couple balls at 95, 96. Sharply hit to short. Edman surrounds. Second one. Another double play. Zach Short down in a heap at the second base bag. The Cardinals have turned 3 double plays in 4. Voting is ongoing for the 2023 Cardinals Hall of Fame, presented by Edward Jones. Our nominees this year: Joaquin Andujar, Steve Carlton, David Freese, Matt Morris, and Edgar Renteria. Cast your vote at cardinals.com/HOF. Voting closes April 21st. If you have to pick one, that's a tough choice with that fivesome.
Well, it really is. And you know what it does too? It crosses different generations of Cardinal fans. Everybody's got one of these guys that's your guy. That's your Cardinal. So all of them, in my eyes, deserving to be there. We'll see who the big winner ends up being.
Joaquin Andujar, one of my all-time favorite baseball quotes. He said, "You can sum baseball up in 2 words. You never know."
Perfect.
Taylor Motter with a home run today. He tomahawked a 2-run shot his first time up. His second homer of the spring. Cardinals lead 3-0. Redbirds have turned 3 double plays so far today.
That last one too. Tommy Edman putting his body on the line. Ball was hit hard, knocked it down perfectly.
And Motter's going to take his time out here as we're already in the 4th inning.
See Matthew Boyd there. He's got his own pitch comm. He's calling his game right now.
High fly ball toward short in left, battling the sun. And he'll put the squeeze on that. 4-out number 1. Short, you might recall, was banged up. Got his spikes caught as he tried to slide it to second. And here is Mason Wynn. He's got an infield hit, and boy, has he turned the double play today.
Showing off that rocket arm from over at second base. Motter on the front end of a couple of good turns, but the arm of Wynn right here is something special. A couple of double plays that aren't normally turned, but he's not a normal arm over at second.
Well, right. The best of all worlds is you have a guy with a shortstop's arm at second base, and the Cardinals certainly have that. As Wynn legged out an infield hit. That is not a misprint. He's hitting .353 this spring. Yeah, the only guy that likes that more than Oliver Marmol is Fred Bird, who's in the booth.
He's got a headset on, but he's not a big talker.
2 homers, 9 RBIs for Mason Wynn. And that's fouled at the plate from Boyd. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fred Bird's in fine feather today.
Well, he is. You told me I could bring a friend.
Yeah.
And here he is. And finally, somebody that might be taller than you.
Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fred Bird looks ready for opening day.
He is. He's been working out.
Yep.
Donuts, chips. It's a special diet.
Broadcasting career not far behind. The pitch is driven foul. And Wynn stays alive. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. I know Fred Bird's enjoying the cool comfort of our broadcast booth as opposed to the 80s outside here at Roger Dean. There's a big bender. And Wynn's down on strikes. Second strikeout for Boyd in the last 2 innings.
Well, Boyd's settling in a little bit here. He's showing off a little bit of everything. This time it's that breaking ball in on the hands of Mason Wynn. Now he's really looking to, Boyd is to cut down on the home runs. Led the league a couple of years ago in homers given up, and that's where that changeup that we were talking about earlier really comes in. Is keeping these right-handers honest.
His home ballpark should help in that regard too, especially early in the year. Comerica Park, one of the biggest in Major League Baseball. And look, for the Tigers to get where they want to go, they've just got to get some pitching health, man. They've got a lot of young studs in rotation that just keep getting hurt.
Yeah, they do. They do. And it's frustrating when you have that. You believe in the upside of some of your guys, but you just can't keep them out there. They got Matthew Boyd, Spencer Turnbull out there. They picked up Michael Lorenzen is a guy that will be a part of things. Matt Manning. They got some guys. It's just A.J. Hinch and the staff trying to figure out how do you best deploy them? How do you keep them healthy?
Well, Boyd showing his stuff. He's flipped the ball over a couple of times. 4 strikeouts for him. And he's through 4 innings. But the Redbirds lead at 3-zip. Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer. By CarShield. CarShield cars go farther. And by Toyota. Dear Adventure. Ready when you are. Toyota. Let's go places. Spencer Torkelson leads off the 5th inning for the Tigers. He reached on an E6 his first time up. Boy, they are counting on this kid to rebound from some rough patches last year.
Well, you've seen the glimpses of it, right? You've seen the power. Now you want to see the consistency out of him. And that's the hard part of the big league level, is being consistent. These arms are so good. You got to have a great approach. And it's something that he's going to build on. But you know it's there. It's just putting it together.
And it's too early to say it's a miss, right? But you can't miss on your #1 picks. And the Tigers have drafted in the top 5 in the amateur draft 3 times in the last 5 years, including Torkelson, who was the #1 choice overall back in 2020.
Well, when you're doing that, you better know that you have got building blocks,
the
real
guy.
ones, instead of, oh, we hope it turns around.
Well, the numbers for Torkelson this spring, again, on paper don't look like much, but they've been raving about the hard hit contact. He's hitting some bad luck this spring. He's done that a lot. As it's shot to right, Yepez won't get that, and it's going to creep over the wall, an opposite field home run. So on cue, Torkelson with his first homer this spring. And the Tigers are on the board to make it a 3-1 game.
Well, talk about the flash, talk about the power, shows it off there, goes the other way with it in a ballpark that's huge anyhow, with the wind blowing in. Like, there is real excitement here around Torkelson. This ball is elevated. He lets it travel. The ball gets deep, and then it goes deep.
It's only the 2nd hit for the Tigers. It leaves the ballpark. And Torkelson's first homer makes it a 3-1 Cardinals game. And Eric Haas, the hitter, he's a Dearborn, Michigan native. He struck out his first time up. If you're a catcher and you're from Michigan, don't you have to be a Lance Parrish fan? He was.
Makes sense. Makes sense for sure.
Fouled at the plate.
I like that pitch there from Libby, able to throw that breaking ball on the outer half. And he's got that ability. He could throw that thing for a strike. He's shown you he could bounce it for the chase.
Two and two for Haas. He's hit 3 homers this spring. As we told you, that's what the Tigers have done. Now 39 of them as a club. And the off-speed fouled away again.
It's tough as a ball club, and especially a young one, to live and die by the home run. You feel like you got to have some guys that are the table setters as well. You need your situational hitting, and that's part of a growing team, and that's part of bringing in guys like Cesar Hernandez, as we talked about before, having a good veteran mix. But you can run into some droughts if you're waiting for the long ball.
And again, in arguably the biggest ballpark in the major leagues, Comerica Park in Detroit. That ball scalded toward left. And a leaping try by Pinder goes unrewarded. That's up against the fence. And Eric Haas will stand in at second. Back-to-back extra base hits versus Liberatore here in the 5th. So 2 straight hits start the 5th inning. And we hope you'll join us Saturday, April 1st, when 25,000 fans 16 and older take home a mystery pitching bobblehead showcasing either Yadier or Albert, courtesy of Central Bank. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Hernandez. Ground ball to third. Motter gives ground, loads up. And a perfect throw for out number 1. Hernandez can't advance the runner. And Palacios will take his turn. He's 0 for 1.
Next up, second baseman number 72, Palacios.
I kind of like after we've seen Libby cruise through 4 innings, did give up the back-to-back extra base hits, the home run, the double. Like to see how he hones in now after a couple of those hits. He's looked very, very solid.
Really good breaking ball all day today. Let's see how his velocity holds up in this 5th frame. He was throwing 94, 95 pretty consistently the first 3 frames. There you go, 95. Nothing wrong with that. Got a late swing and a foul ball.
95 and downhill plane. The ball's not sailing out of his hand. It doesn't look like he's trying to throw this thing through the wall. It looks very free and easy and comfortable. When you're as big as Matthew Liberatore is, there's a lot of moving parts. The timing is really important. It looks like his timing is down. He's knowing his mechanics very well.
Big swing and a miss. Palacios is down on strikes. That's number 5 for Matthew today.
The big bender again from Matthew Liberatore, arguably his best pitch. That one with a ton of depth on it. We've seen him try to steal some strikes on the corner with it. That one, he threw it middle, he threw it down.
Now a lefty-lefty matchup with Kerry Carpenter, who takes another strike. I think he's answered your question pretty well when you say after the homer, the double, ground out strikeout, now 0-2 to the Tigers' 8th place hitter.
It really has. A young pitcher. You can let things snowball on you quickly. You're cruising. All of a sudden things don't go your way. He's done a good job of just getting right back to where he needed to be. There it is.
Wow. What a way to finish. Back-to-back strikeouts. 6 for Matthew Liberatore, who leads by 2. Hey, the Blues are back at home tomorrow for an early start with the Jets. We'll see at 5:30 tomorrow night on Bally Sports Midwest. Matthew Boyd started this game for the Tigers. The Cardinals touched him for 3 runs in 4 innings. Now, Brad, we get our first look at Bo Brisky.
Well, 15 games last season in the big leagues. Another guy talking about opportunities, wants to be a part of things moving forward here for the Tigers. We've been talking about it throughout the game. If you're a young player, it's a really exciting team to be a part of. You had a chance to get some reps. That's what Brisky's trying to do.
He's 24 years young. And that's, again, to your point, what's exciting. Even with all the injuries, when you think about Matt Manning and Casey Mize and Spencer Turnbull, if those guys can put it together, all of a sudden you have a young homegrown rotation that they can grow together and build around.
Yeah, and you've got some position players. Mentioned Torkelson. You got some guys that you believe that you could build around. The hard part is everybody maturing at the same time. Right. It just never happens.
Well, they brought in Michael Lorenzen. Cardinals fans know all about him. Hoping Eduardo Rodriguez has his off-field issues taken care of and he can make 30 starts for them this year. They've made a lot of changes to their bullpen. They traded Gregory Soto and Joe Jimenez to the Phillies and Braves to bring in more talent for their farm system. And look, let's face it, we mentioned his name earlier. When Miguel Cabrera comes off the books, that's going to really help the Tigers from a financial standpoint for A.J. Hinch.
Yeah, you would think so, and you would hope that there's a little bit of clarity at that point after another developmental year of, okay, where should we spend this money? Like, where will it best fit and help this ball club?
And there's a new man in charge. Al Avila was relieved of his duties last year. Scott Harris is the new general manager. You've got A.J. Hinch, who's now in his 3rd year at the helm in Detroit. You know, those differing organizational philosophies can take some time to take root too.
For sure. And I think that you look at this year, you'd like to see a little bit more. They invested heavily in Javi Baez. They'd like to get more out of him. You know what Javi Baez is overall. He's going to hit a lot of home runs for you. He's going to strike out a bit. I think that they'd love to temper a little bit of the strikeouts or at least get some more power out of him. 17 home runs for Baez a year ago. And in that ballpark, as you mentioned, not an easy task.
So Brisky walks Pinder to start the 5th inning. That's the 2nd walk the Redbirds have earned today, and a good start to the frame with Tommy Edman coming up. On one hand, you'd say as well, look, the Tigers have an advantage of playing in what's perceived to be a relatively weak division, but they don't have the advantage of 19 games against those divisional foes anymore with the new schedule.
Yeah, and you and I have kicked it around. I like it. I love the new schedule, the idea of it, but and I think that you can say the same thing for the Cardinals, but a far different team. I mean, you don't see the Reds as much, rebuilding club. You don't see the Pirates as much, certainly a rebuilding club. But everybody's playing as close to a balanced schedule as you could have. I think it'll give you a good test of who everybody is.
Tommy Edman took too long to get set in the box, inherited an 0-1 count. Just like that, it's 0-2.
Happens quickly, and that is one of the things. The guys that played at the World Baseball Classic, just for those that didn't know, they were not playing under these same set of rules.
And a cue shot foul. First game action for the Cardinals for Edman since February 25th. So you figure Tommy will have plenty of time to get reacclimated, get going, and get ready for the Blue Jays on opening day. As we said, limited tickets are available for the first game of the year. Go to Cardinals.com. They start at $44 the pitch. He is sprayed foul again, still 0-2. Just joining us, Matthew Liberatore has started for the Redbirds. He looked terrific. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, just 1 run. The Cardinals turned 3 double plays behind him. St. Louis got all 3 runs in the 2nd inning today off Boyd. Taylor Motter, a 2-run homer, the big blow. And Edman chased a high pitch, tipped it, and it was caught, and he's down on strikes. 1 on, 1 out. This guy's got a nice arm. He throws hard.
He does, and he had that changeup too that gets you thinking about that out in front, then elevates with that big 97-mile-an-hour fastball on the top of the zone. I think that's what you get when you have a young team too. You have a lot of good skill sets, but they're raw skill sets, and it's putting it together outing in and outing out, you know, each and every game, building that consistency. But Brisky, he's got a big arm. I think that one thing, just watching him here quickly, he's going to have to make sure that that changeup and the fastball look the same coming out of his hands. He does slow down a little bit on that off-speed offering. But that'll play right there.
97 and moving. And the old down and away strike, the best pitch in the game, right?
Well, especially now you throw that at 97, then you throw that changeup down and away. That was it there, missed with it.
It's amazingly how frequent big league hitters can see that subtle little deceleration of a pitch and just spit on it.
Yeah, well, they're focused on that release point of that window, and if anything looks different or it looks different pitch to pitch, they'll pick up on it. It's how good they are. It's the approach. It's also a lot of the prep work before a game, and the prep work's not exactly the same coming into a spring training contest as you're facing somebody different every single day. You're up there trying to see the ball, you're getting your reps, but as you dig into the season, any little differences like that, everybody's going to know about it, and they're going to take advantage of it. That's why you see the Cardinals, they watch each other's bullpens, they really work on tipping pitches to make sure they don't fall into those traps. Last thing that you want is maybe it's after a year you have with a team, you get over to another team, it's like, hey, by the way, we knew everything that was coming. Like, what do you mean? Why did nobody on my team tell me those things?
It's always the pitcher who's last to know, right?
That is the fact.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Right back where it came from. He almost Charlie Browned it. Sharply hit ball from Dylan Carlson. Wow. That was close. 2 on, 1 out.
Those are the kind of swings that we've been talking about and wanting to see all camp long, and have been seeing from Dylan Carlson from the left side. Firm fastball, quick stroke, right up the middle.
So Dylan 1 for 3. Yepez the batter. He's played Pepper with Kerry Carpenter and right twice. And takes a strike. Three runs on 6 hits for the Cardinals. A run on 3 hits for the Tigers. And Yepez trying to slow things down. Takes his timeout. It's amazing to me, Brad, how much the game has changed from one year to the next. I'm speaking specifically of the equipment. It's incredible how much stickier the Velcro on the batting gloves are this year as opposed to last year. We don't see nearly as many adjustments.
Well, you know what? Technology is a heck of a thing. Somebody comes up with that great invention. Amazingly, they do stay in place. You don't have to adjust them every time.
Maybe that's where the spider tack went.
Could have been. Could have been. Went right into those batting gloves. Yeah, all of the unnecessary movements that we've had in the game that kind of took away from the action, they've been pressed down.
1 ball, 2 strikes. At the knees. Yepez didn't think so. And he's rung up. That's out number 2.
Yeah, Juan might have a little bit of a beef here on this fastball. 97, it's good, it's low. I think it's a little bit under the zone, but spring training, be ready to pull the trigger. Home plate umpire Ryan Addington, he liked it.
And Eric Haas, who's been working on his framing and such behind the plate, might have stolen strike 3 there. Here's Contreras. And a chopper foul for Wilson. He's doubled, scored, and popped out.
That's
today.
a good point, too, with Haas behind the plate. Oftentimes that one knee down, and some people love it, some people hate it from the catchers. But the concept of it is to be able to get down under that low strike and make it seem like it gets pulled up into the strike zone. That's what Haas did with that one. We'll see him splay out to the one knee down.
That backed up over the inside corner. It's 0-2. Do you like that if your catcher was on a knee? Did it bother you? Did you care?
Oh, if you can steal me a strike at the bottom of the zone,
sure,
I love it. What I do care about, though, is a runner on second or third in a late game, and then you're not able to block the ball. If you could do both, that's what's necessary.
Sharply hit up the middle, a base hit. On an 0-2 count, Contreras with a 2-out RBI. And the Cardinals add on. It's a 4-1 game. And don't you love 2-strike, 2-out hits?
You do for sure, and you know that everybody's on the move on this swing. Good base running by Dylan Carlson. It's a fastball 97 miles an hour at the top of the zone. That's where he wanted it. But Contreras showing off those fast hands. He's been swinging it really well the last couple of days here in camp. He's getting geared up and ready.
So 7 hits for the Cardinals in the game, 2 in the inning. And they cash in the leadoff walk that got this 5th inning started.
That tends to happen, doesn't it, Chip? Walk that leadoff guy, you're in trouble.
So the Tigers talk it over. We'll remind you on Sunday, April 2nd, 25,000 fans 16 and older take home a lightweight hooded long sleeve pullover. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions. First homestand for the Redbirds. The Toronto Blue Jays, then the Atlanta Braves come in. So that's the first week at Busch Stadium. Hope you'll join us as Alec Burleson, the batter. He's singled home a run.
Yeah, had that RBI single at his first at bat, scorched another one in his second at bat, but ended up being a ground out to second base. Seems to be seeing the ball pretty well.
First and third for the Birds with 2 outs. And a rip foul. That's where I think the advanced metrics have really helped players and fans alike understand more than just the traditional batting numbers for a hitter. Hard hit percentages, shift percentages, first pitch swing efficiency, all of those things tell you so much more about a player's performance now than ever.
Yeah, and expected numbers too. When you take all of the data and you plug it in.
High pop, deep center. Drifting back is Davis. Look at that ball carried to the 400 sign. And the Cardinals are done in the 5th. They add a 2-out RBI from Wilson Contreras. Well, the story of this game, Brad, is Matthew Liberatore's start.
5 innings, 3 hits, punched out 6. And before his outing, we talked about the big key is his fastball command. He commanded it to both sides of the plate. He elevated with it. Arguably the best we've seen Matthew Liberatore in a Cardinal uniform. You know, Cardinal pitching coach Dusty Blake like what he saw today.
Well, we hope for more of the same from Genesis Cabrera, who pitched in a game for the Dominican Republic in the WBC. Once Team Dominican Republic was eliminated, Genesis came back to camp. That's what he did last year in 39 games. And now, Brad, part of that left-handed bullpen competition we've spoken of so frequently.
He is for sure, and we all know about the huge arm that Genesis Cabrera has. We've seen him at his best a couple of years ago. The velocity was there last year. Had a bit of an up and down year for Cabrera, so he's just looking to get that consistency back again. Saw a little bit during the season. He had a velo drop. The spin rate wasn't as good on his breaking ball. Ended up getting sent out for a little bit, but came back and he looked like the guy from earlier in the season. I think they're happy to start getting the band back together here.
Jonathan Davis, the 9th place hitter, leads off for the Tigers. And welcome back, Mr. Cabrera. 94 on the inside corners. Strike 1 for Davis, who struck out in his lone trip to the plate. Driven softly toward right, and a nice running catch takes care of Jonathan Davis. Yepes got a good jump, and there's your first out. Here's Zach Short. Short singled softly in the 4th inning. Appeared to hurt himself sliding into second base, but has stayed in the game, obviously. And again, Short has had a solid spring. 9 hits for the Tigers.
Well, we're going to see a couple other lefties in this ball game that are vying for spots in this Cardinal bullpen. Andrew Suarez slated to pitch today, as is Anthony Masevich, lefty they picked up from the Royals.
Two balls and a strike. A sinking line drive to left and a great diving catch. Might have broken his belt. But Pinder with a super diving grab retires Zach Short.
You know how hard those are. The sinking liner, you're coming in. You also know if you miss this, that it is a triple in the making. Pinder doesn't mix it. Another guy taking advantage of some of these reps out here.
Did he break the belt buckle?
If so, totally worth it. They'll get him another belt. I think Genesis might go get it for him. Appreciate the help, man.
Right,
you take my belt.
Down a strike. And now 0-2. I think it'll be fun to see the guys coming back from the WBC as you see the diving grab and a broadcaster's nightmare, a broken belt. Well, the guys that are coming back from those heated competitions come back and they may be a little more advanced than their bullpen brethren who didn't play in the WBC.
Yeah, well, yeah, they were playing games that really meant something early on. That's something that we've talked a little bit about in spring training, how difficult that is to build the atmosphere and build the moments. While in the WBC, as you're playing for your life, you already got that built in. Some entertaining games, certainly.
No balls, 2 strikes for Ryan Kreidler. And off his thumbs, out of play. Well, Team USA plays Venezuela. That ought to be a heck of a game. Lance Lynn supposed to start for Team USA. The winner of that game would face Cuba as WBC play continues down at Lone Depot Park in Miami.
You could tell.
Atmosphere's been great.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could tell on TV, and we've talked to Chip, people that have been down there for it, say it is a madhouse in the best way.
There's a bolt into left center field. Pinder will move to his left. Nice quick work to keep that ball close by, and he holds Kreidler to a long single. That was nicely done.
Impressive to cut it off and get it in. Very impressive with the swing, too, here from Kreidler. Quick hands, gets the barrel to it. Good footwork and technique by Pinder out there in left. Gets around the ball, throws. Nice strong throw into the base.
And Andy Ibanez is up. Happy there are 2 outs because he can't hit into a third double play. He's done it twice today.
It's the little things.
He's 2 for 9 this spring for Detroit. And a strike. Cardinals have turned 3 double plays today. No swing.
Cabrera, such a big part of the Cardinal bullpen 2 years ago, appeared in 71 games for the Redbirds. The hope is he can return to that dominant lefty. The stuff is there.
One strike away from sending us to the home 6th. The Genesis Cabrera's return from the WBC. And a swing and a miss, and that'll retire the side. Genesis, welcome back. A scoreless 6th. Cardinals 4, Tigers 1. The Cardinals 5K presented by Bally Sports Midwest. Participants get a walk-around victory lap around the warning track at Busch Stadium. Sign up at cardinals.com/5K. Taylor Motter's had a nice day today. He's hit a 2-run homer, and he'll lead off the home 6th. As Bo Brisky back to work for the Tigers, and Motter unloads down the left field line. Did he keep it fair? He did. A 2-homer day for Motter. He ambushed him.
Probably had some poor young Marlin having lunch out on the pavilion and then ended up with his baseball and his sandwich. This thing is way gone. Let it fly. We saw Motter putting on a show during BP as well. It was fun to watch him do that.
He's got to work on his Carlton Fisk, though. I mean, don't you have to kind of wave that ball fair?
I think you pick your spots for that one. And maybe it's not against the Tigers in spring training, but either way, got every bit of it.
So 8 hits for the Cardinals, 2 of them from Motter, who's hit a couple of homers. Mason Wynn, another good day today. He's 1 for 2. Remember, this is a Cardinal lineup. As this one's cracked into center, that's going to drop for a hit. Another 2-hit game for Mason Wynn. This is a team without Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt. And Brad, they're scoring runs almost easily, it seems.
I mean, where are they going to play when they come back? I mean, that's the.
I hope they make the team.
That's the biggest question. Out of sight, out of mind, Chip. Oh, you just think about all of the depth that this ball club has, and we get it. It's spring training. Don't believe everything that you see in spring, but I do believe that there is a lot of offensive firepower on this club. And a lot of firepower that'll be sitting there at AAA, AA when you need it throughout the year.
Andrew Kisner hits. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Pinder waits on deck with a new belt. And back to first is Mason Wynn. Wynn with 3 multi-hit games this spring. This one chopped towards short. Tricky hop for 1, and the ball dropped. They'll get the force at second. Palacios dropped what should have been a double play. Can't assume it. They'll get the force on the fielder's choice.
Well, these are the details that we continue to talk about with the Cardinals. You and I were down on the field watching them go through some of their prep work, and everything, the attention to detail is always there. Every little transfer, every little thing ends up mattering. A young Tigers ball club, that's one you'd like to see turned.
To your point, Cardinals had PFP practice, pitcher's fielding practice before the game. There were a couple of errant throws, a couple balls that were dropped. Stubby Clapp said, let's do it again. And they kept doing it again until they figured it out, got the timing down.
That was something that Tony La Russa in spring training would just beat into us. It doesn't matter if you got the out. Were all of the mechanics that happened in the play, let's say it's a rundown or a bunt play, was every single person in the spot that they were supposed to be? If not, run it again. We'll stay out here all day until we get this right. You practice until you can't get it wrong.
Pinder digs in, down 2 strikes with 1 out. And on the ground to third. Let's see if they turn this one. There's 1. And there is 2. And the Cardinals are done in the 6th inning. Taylor Motter, a 2-homer, 3 RBI days. The Cardinals enjoy a 5-1 lead. Brad, here's our Budweiser What's on Tap. 12 days from today, it's the Battle of the Birds at Busch.
Just like everybody remembers in your childhood, the Blue Jays coming to town. It's going to be awesome. Can't believe that it is happening this quickly. Still a little bit of work. And as we talked to Ollie Marmol before the game, there's still some things to shake out. But it is going to be here before we know it. And it is going to be fun on the 30th against the Blue Jays.
Brian Shapiro, our great producer, reminds us the Clydesdales will be there. The Hall of Famers will be there. The Red Jackets will be there. And we will hopefully be in fine feather for the Blue Jays and the Cardinals on opening day. Wilking Rodriguez is the new Cardinal pitcher, 3rd of the day.
Another Cardinal with a strong camp. Wilking Rodriguez, the Rule 5 pick. He was picked up from the Yankees. Big time opportunity to make this club. He's got a big arm. You'll see the fastball mid to upper 90s. And that slider there as well.
Spencer Torkelson's accounted for the Tigers' run, an opposite field homer in the 5th. And Rodriguez, another man having a solid spring in Jupiter.
That's exactly what we were talking to Ollie about before the game. Just saying, man, you got a lot of good arms and only so many spots. He said, yeah, I'm kind of glad we're not breaking yet. I got a lot of different things that we need to sort out.
Hard hit ball through the hole for a base hit. So as we talked about, what the Tigers are seeing and getting from Spencer Torkelson is cause for optimism this year. Number 1 overall pick has hit the ball hard 3 times today and has 2 hits.
You're going to look to him to be a part of that new nucleus. Keep getting better, turn into that leader also that you believe that you're drafting. It'll be the end of the day for Torkelson. Knapp into pinch run.
So Andrew Knapp, former Philly, will pinch run here in the 7th inning in a 5-1 game. Eric Haas has doubled in 2 trips and drives that one out of play. Look, there's so much excitement for fans wondering how the roster is going to shake out. Who's going to make the team? Who's not? I think we forget what that's like, or wonder what's that's like, Brad, from a player's perspective when you have such a close competition and for whatever reason, contract, numbers, options left, you don't make the team. These last 10-12 days have got to be agonizing as a bad hop turns into a hit for Haas, and the Tigers have runners at 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
Yeah, it really is a good point, because these are the times here for these guys that are trying to cling on to the roster where every outing, even though it may seem like a meaningless one late in a ball game, they mean a lot. This game here means a lot to Wilking Rodriguez. Every at bat for some of these young guys means something, and it can be something where you feel like your job hinges on every single time you step on the field. But when you're evaluating these guys, that's how you want them to feel. How do they feel with all of that pressure on? Because as much as you're trying to simulate pressure, and it's hard for some of the veteran guys to feel that until the regular season is, these young guys can, and you can see how they respond to it.
Andrew Navigato pinch running at first for Detroit. They've got him 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Cesar Hernandez is the batter. 2 hard hit balls for Detroit off Wilking Rodriguez here in the 7th. And a topspin rocket avoided Taylor Motter at 3rd. Good thing it was a bad hop.
This is one of those spots too here for Wilking Rodriguez, as the first couple of guys have reached against them, and a couple of balls that are hit fairly hard. All right, what does he do now? What does he have to get out of a spot like this?
This is his 7th appearance this spring, as that ball's whacked toward right, and that's over the head of Yepez, and that's going to score 1 for sure. Here comes Navigato to 3rd. He's going to stop there, and the Tigers have 2nd and 3rd, and still nobody out. They've scored their 2nd run.
Well, Rodriguez fell behind, came back with the fastball, and you can't put it there. I don't care who you're facing. You're not going to be able to miss right down the middle. This one 97 miles an hour, thigh high. And Cesar Hernandez puts a really good swing into it, gets himself the double, and drives one in.
And that's what the Tigers are going to need from guys like Cesar Hernandez. When they get a chance to get a big hit, he's going to have to provide it, and he did here in the 7th. And he's 1 for 3 for Jermaine Palacios. 3 hitters up, 3 with hits and a run across. 5-2 game. These are the first hits Wilking Rodriguez has allowed in a spring game since March the 2nd. He had 4 straight hitless appearances. Entering today's play, so a bump in the road for him today.
Which I think, and look, there's still a lot of work to be done here in this inning, as he's got nobody out. But another thing that you want to see is how he responds from this one too. You know, gave up some runs potentially in this one. Got a pitch clock violation.
Low and away. 2 balls and a strike. Nothing wrong with the velo. The image hasn't been what Wilking would have liked. And that one got a piece of Barrera behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it comes down to location. Are you putting the ball where you want to? That was we showed the miss there with Cesar Hernandez. it doesn't matter how hard you throw, you got to be able to put the ball where you want it. Got to be able to spot up on both sides of the plate. And that's something we have seen him do this camp, just missing here today.
There's an off-speed pitch, 81, and fouled away. The 2-2 pitch to Jermaine Palacios. Oh, a flinch, but didn't get the call. It's 3-2. Big pitch. The 3-2. Hey, got him to swing and miss. So Palacios is retired for round number 1. Head to Busch Stadium for College Night, Tuesday, April 4th or Monday, April 17th. With the purchase of a themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Cardinals sweatshirt. For details, visit cardinals.com/theme. Kerry Carpenter is the hitter and takes high. Don't forget, limited number of tickets still available for opening day at Busch Stadium. If you're just joining us, tickets start as low as $44. Log on to cardinals.com for all the details. Two on, one in, one out. And a line drive just out of reach at second. That's going to score a run. So Kerry Carpenter puts it in play, brings home Navigato, and the Tigers have a 2-run rally here in the 7th.
This time from Wilking Rodriguez, it's the cutter. And the cutter, we've seen it with some good action, but where is it? It's up in the zone again. He's able to handle this thing, and just outside of the reach of Mason Wynn. Would have been a fantastic play if he made it. You know, that play, too, is one, again, that is far from routine. Mason Wynn being the competitor that he is, he's sitting there, it's like, dang it, I could have had that. I should have had that. That's the way that he feels about it.
Yeah, the great ones feel there's a play they should always make.
I really enjoy watching that young man this camp.
So Jonathan Davis is the hitter. The double play still in order here for the Cardinals. They turned 3 of them in the first 4 innings. Detroit with 2 runs on 4 hits so far in the 7th. Runner at first goes. Pitch is low. The throw to second. Skips into center field. And that's going to bring home the 3rd run of the inning. So Stevenson steals second. He'll advance to 3rd on the error. And the tough inning for Wilking Rodriguez continues here in the 7th.
Well, really haven't seen a ton of the running game this spring. Mason Wynn not able to come up with that pick right there on the short throw. And for Wilking Rodriguez, just needs to execute a couple of pitches here, give himself a chance. Infield in here against Jonathan Davis.
Who's got an even count, a ball and a strike. Cardinals jumped in front 3-0 after 2 innings. Matthew Liberatore started, went 5, struck out 6. Looked outstanding. Genesis Cabrera gave up a hit in his inning. Wilking Rodriguez has allowed 3 runs on 4 hits so far in the 7th. We've got a 5-4 score. The pitch. Right into that Old English D and called a strike.
A pitch count getting up there now for Wilking. 22 pitches in the inning, 12 strikes, and his misses have just been middle, something we haven't seen from him so far this camp.
That got Davis on the way by. He's hit by a pitch.
This time the arm side miss here, and you wonder with Wilking Rodriguez, he's starting to feel that pitch count. They're going to go talk it over with him. Might end up being it for Wilking Rodriguez.
So for Rodriguez, who's had a terrific spring, he had a tough day today. 3 runs are in on 4 hits. Cardinals go to the bullpen, protecting a 1-run lead. 5-4 now. Double play in order for the Cardinals. Brendan Davis will be the hitter for the Tigers, and Ryan Ludus, the pride of Wash U in St. Louis, goes to work here protecting a 1-run lead.
Well, another guy that's been a very solid camp for Ryan Ludus. He has looked good. He's gotten in plenty of action here so far. 5 games. I like how funky his delivery is. That time the breaking ball, but he hides the ball so well. He's got good velocity, that good curveball there. I think it's important to have different looks, especially in your bullpen. He provides one of those.
Heck of a pick by Alec Burleson on that hard throw to first. If that gets by, a run would have scored. Sixth outing for Ryan Ludus. He's gone 3 2/3 innings, just 2 hits. His last appearance came on the 14th against the Astros. 1 strike for Brendan Davis. Now 2 strikes for Davis. And here's what Brad was talking about. A lot to unwind here if you're the hitter.
Yeah, look at the delivery here of Ryan Ludus. Really bends backward, hides the ball really well, and it just comes out right over the top, that whipping action. And you think about that hand right over the top. He's got the fastball that can ride, and then the curveball that drops straight down.
Yanked foul at third. It's still 0-2. Pitch high, throw short, hop at second, break toward the plate, cannon throw, and in time. Terrific recovery. The Tigers tried to steal a run. They steal a base, but Stevenson's thrown out by Mason Wynn.
That's how you want to run it right here. It was a good jump over there at first, but a nice job by Wynn of blocking that, keeping it in front, and then showing off that rocket arm once again to gun him down at the plate.
If the word's not out already, it will be soon. You can't try that play on Mason Wynn.
I mean, you are going to have to be very careful. Any cutoffs coming in from the outfield, if that guy is coming up firing, third base coaches will be on notice.
Little dribbler toward third. And the flip to first is in time, and Ludus a nice job. Boy, Mason Wynn has had himself a day up the middle. 3 double play turns, and he just gunned down. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Valley Sports Midwest is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Plaza Tire Service, the quick change experts. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Jeremy Rivas will lead off. New pitcher on the hill for the Detroit Tigers. Tyler Alexander's the 3rd man to pitch today.
Alexander, another one of those guys that's trying to solidify a role. He's been in the big leagues parts of the last 4 years, started 17 games, pitched in 27 for the Tigers last year. I think those guys are very important to have to your swing guys, the versatility. For the Cardinals example of that would be Jake Woodford, a guy that could start for you but could also give you big innings out of the pen. Drew Verhagen profiles that way also.
Jeremy Rivas with a leadoff single. He greets Alexander rudely. And Rivas aboard to start the 7th. Cardinals enjoy a 1-run lead.
Well, Alexander had that slider going in on the hands of Rivas. That's what you want. But you're hoping that it finds somebody. Rivas just able to muscle that thing out into right field. Strong kid. Youngest kid in camp.
Dylan Carlson hits with a man aboard. Big hole right side for him. Look, this kid Alexander, he's been around a while. As Brad said, he's got some major league experience. In 2020 with the Detroit Tigers, he set a big league record for a reliever. He struck out 9 straight hitters.
Wow. That was a good month for me.
He tied the American League and Tigers franchise record set by Doug Fister in 2012. And he became the first pitcher with 10 or more strikeouts in relief since Randy Johnson did it in 2001. Randy struck out 16 in relief.
You know, for some reason I could see it.
Yeah.
That's one of those guys. I'm not sure. And not that I was a great hitter. Not sure I'd want an at-bat against Randy Johnson.
John Kruk and Larry Walker didn't like it much, did they? Can't blame him. As time called by Dylan Carlson. Cardinals have a reliever that's had a similar kind of run as Alexander's record-setting work. Ryan Helsley's last 12 outs out of the Cardinals bullpen, Brad, have all been strikeouts.
He has looked so good. He's picking up right where he left off last year. An all-star a year ago. He's emerged as one of the best relievers in the game, and he looks as good now as he did in the middle of the season last year. That's incredibly encouraging for the Cardinals.
2-strike pitch is hammered deep toward left field. To the wall and gone. Dylan Carlson with a 2-run homer.
Well, this time from Alexander, he tried to elevate up above the zone, but the quick hands of Dylan Carlson to get right on top of that. That stroke from the right side is just so quick and gets it out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, his homer and Motter's first homer, very similarly struck. Went up and got it right above the birds. And both 2-run homers.
This is a team right now, Chip. You've looked all camp long. They're not missing heaters. Like, they are looking to do some big-time damage on anything that's straight and around the zone.
So 7 runs on 11 hits for the Cardinals. They've hit 3 more homers today. Motters hit 2 of them. Dylan Carlson with a shot over the boards in left, just to the right of the 355 sign. And Yepez on a pitch clock violation is out number 1.
That's not the way you want to go down.
No.
Right there. Wasn't ready in time and ended up getting popped for the strikeout.
I figured out how I'm going to score that.
All right, yeah, what are you going to do? Because I need to know for my book here.
PCK, pitch clock strikeout.
It's a lot of writing.
Well, both of us probably need the practice. As Tres Barrera hits, he's 1 for 9 this spring. That hit a homer.
I guess it is important, though, to have that in a different bucket than all the other strikeouts.
Yeah.
Want to know which ones are earned.
But they all count. As Barrera's ahead 2-0. He took over for Contreras, who had 2 for 3 today with an RBI single, highlighting his afternoon. That came in the Redbirds' 5th inning. Hey, to baseball's credit, they said these are the rules and we're going to apply them strictly and consistently. And the number of violations, as we're told, has decreased over the first 3 weeks of the spring. But it is still jarring to see a guy put the bat on the shoulder and take a walk when no pitch or swing is made.
It's hard to process is what it is. We've seen the game, you know, the same way for so long. But we'll get used to it like anything else. And like you said, these guys are getting used to it. You're not seeing it quite as much. There have been plenty of questions of, hey, do you think that they'll do these things in the postseason? The answer is yes.
Popped up towards second. Backpedaling. Still backpedaling, and the ball drops. Nobody's at the second base bag. And Tres Barrera, good hustle, never stopped running. And he'll be at second base with one out.
Well, those are those plays as a defender. You can't backpedal to it. You have to bust hard, get under the baseball, especially with the wind that always wreaks havoc here. That ball just kept him drifting. And to your point, Chip, very good hustle there by Barrera. You saw nobody was covering the bag, and he was hustling out of the box.
So Navigado can't come up with that one. That'll be the 12th Cardinals hit. And a shot headed for right center by Alec Burleson. That's going to get down and roll to the wall. Barrera will score. Burleson in at second. Back-to-back Cardinal doubles. And he did it against a left-handed pitcher. So another extra base hit for the Cardinals, Brad, and Mr. Motters had a hand in that. He's our Budweiser plays of the game.
Yeah, Motters said, Nolan Arenado, who? I can do this over at third base, taking advantage of the opportunity so far this camp and showing up. I have no idea where that ball landed. I don't think anybody's going to find that second one that Motter hit, but he'd like to add a third.
Six extra base hits for the Cardinals. And by the way, Nolan, if you're watching, that was Brad that said that. Motter, 2 for 3.
Well, in fairness, I made it sound like Motter said it.
8 runs on 13 hits. And hey, good luck to Team USA, man. They'll have their hands full with Venezuela. That's going to be a whale of a game.
Yeah, it is going to be a fun one for sure. And hope for those Team USA guys, as much as you want to see them back in camp, I want to see them make that run.
Four hits off Alexander here in the 7th. Burleson a 2-hit, 2 RBI day. He's the man at second with 1 out and in for a strike. In the kind of camp that Motter has had, you really have to respect him. He's a guy that's been up and down in the major leagues with several different organizations. He's no kid. He knows what his role is here. But he's ready. He's got a great attitude, and he's putting together a super spring.
Well, you see why he continues to get opportunities with other teams. I mean, that is the type of depth that you're looking for. First of all, to your point of he understands it. He's a good teammate, and he has a good skill set. He's slick with the glove. He's got big power. Can do a lot of things.
Not that time, though. Alexander turns it over, picks up his second strikeout. 3 in, 2 outs, a man aboard. And here comes Mason Wynn, who's had another dazzling day. His 3rd multi-hit game this spring, and he's put on a show up the middle at second base. It's no secret the Cardinals have a very crowded outfield. They have a very crowded infield. Mason Wynn has done everything to this point that he can do to force the Cardinals' hand. This one, a little flare. That's going to be caught, though. Navigado got there in time, and that will retire the side. Cardinals get those 3 runs back, and we head to the 8th. Our copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of our game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Brad Thompson, Chip Carey with you for the final time this spring. Brad, you get to head home and get set for opening day after today's broadcast.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm following along as we see Anthony Misevich make his 7th appearance so far in Grapefruit League action. A lot still to shake out here with his Cardinal roster, but just can't wait for opening day right around the corner.
Gage Workman is the hitter and takes A ball, 1 ball, no strikes.
That's enough time in Florida for me, Chip. You know, I've got my cinnamon tan already. I'm good to go.
Yes, you are regular season ready. Well, it's been a pleasure. Really have enjoyed getting to know you and work with you. We're going to have a blast starting on opening day with Toronto.
Yeah, these have been fun, and the fun is just beginning.
Foul back to the net. 2 balls and a strike from Misevich. Tigers 4 runs on 8 hits. The Cardinals 8 runs on 13 hits. After a 16-2 win over the Marlins yesterday, the Redbirds have come out swinging it again today. Another strike for Workman. It's 2-2. And we'll see the Tigers in St. Louis May 5th, 6th, and 7th at Busch Stadium. And that ball boring in on the hands of Workman. Nice pitch. Good result. 1 up, 1 down.
Pretty nasty cutter right there from Misevich. This thing starts on the inner half. The key to it is it looks like the fastball and then just keeps coming in on the hands.
Is that a pitch Dusty Blake is trying to incorporate more? I know that Jack Flaherty in his start the other day threw 10 or 11 of them in his outing.
I think it's one that is just so effective. So if you have a feel for it, I think it really works, especially against the opposite hand of that pitch just coming in that looks like the fastball that's hard in there. But Dusty Blake, he's all about maximizing whatever your repertoire is. Like whatever you do well, let's do it even better. I think that's part of that, just fine-tuning each one of his guys. It's not one wholesale approach. If there's one wholesale approach from Dusty Blake, he talked about it early in camp, it's the race to 2 strikes. Said, look, everybody knows Cardinal staff did not strike out a lot of guys last year. Well, there's only one way you can get into that opportunity. You got to get to 2 strikes. So don't fall behind. Be aggressive early. Then you can bury guys with your best stuff.
Well, and today's game's indicative of that. We've got an out in the 8th inning, and the Cardinals staff has struck out 9 Tigers. 3 innings of no contact through 7 1/3. That'll play.
And it comes down to, and I think the pace was set today by the starter for the Cardinals, Matthew Liberatore, of filling up the strike zone, being aggressive with the fastball. You know that Dusty Blake has got to like what they've seen there. You know the raw skill set of the young man Liberatore, but I think that we saw it today shine the brightest that we've seen it in a Cardinal uniform.
A chopper foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dusty Blake and the Cardinals will take on the Mets in St. Lucie tomorrow. Dakota Hudson will get the start for the Redbirds. Back where it came from, over the second base bag, and Mason couldn't glove that. That's about all he's missed today. And did they take Mason out? Beg your pardon. That's Juniel Ketakuto at second base. So Ketakuto just checked in. Good try, though. Ball right over the second base bag, and Lipsius has a 1-out hit. Here's Andrew Knapp. Knapp scored a run after coming on as a pinch runner and takes a ball low. 1 ball, no strike. Speaking of the Mets, how do they recover from losing Edwin Diaz, and they almost lost Brandon Nimmo?
Yeah, that is a tough one. You make a huge investment to keep arguably the best closer in the game. They give him a 5-year, $102 million deal, and you only do that when you believe that that guy is like, that's the missing link. You got everything else there, but it's next man up. Happens in every sport. Somebody's got to be ready to take on that job. They've got plenty of relievers out there, maybe none that dominant.
Yeah, Diaz struck out over half of the batters he faced last year. So, as you know, in the game today, you build the bullpen from the 9th inning forward. That's a big task now for Buck Showalter and company to overcome. And we'll get a peek perhaps at how the Mets handle that in our game tomorrow. We're back at it with the Marlins here on Monday, and Jake Woodford will start against the Fighting Fish.
You look at that for the Mets. You look at increased roles for David Robertson, Adam Ottavino.
Swing and a miss. Andrew Knapp didn't get that. He's down on strikes, and 2 men are down.
I showed you the cutter earlier, this time from Misevich, a bigger breaking ball with good depth on it. Just another lefty in this battle for the bullpen.
Andrew Navigato rolls one foul. Strike one to him. Cardinals right now have 47 players in camp. They got Tommy Edman back in action for the first time since late February today. Tommy went 1 for 3. That ball's in foul territory from Navigato. It's 0-2. Tyler O'Neill was supposed to return today. Ollie Marmol said that Tyler could be back in the lineup in a couple of days. The Cardinals being very careful getting guys reacclimated to big league camp after their long trips back from WBC play.
You just want to make sure that everybody's ready. You don't want to rush them back in. A guy like Tyler O'Neill, he was getting lots of reps. He was doing so on a big stage.
Navigato got hit. That hurts. It was an 0-2 count.
Those are those ones where you're trying really hard. You want to make sure you get in on that right-hander if you're Misevich, because you want to be able to set up your next pitch. Trying to get it up, get it in. If you get him to swing, great. This time just pulled it across.
And Ollie was asked before the game about Tyler specifically. Where's he going to play? And without a beat, he said center field. He's going to play center field when he gets back in game action. And man, did he have a great WBC with Canada. He went 8 for 13 and drove in 4 runs, walked 5 times.
It's what you want to see from him. We saw the skill set. We saw it 2 years ago. Saw the power, saw the speed, the ability to hit for average. And then last year marred by injury, just that up and down year. But once you've seen it for a year at the big league level, you know it's there. And you think about this lineup with him, Goldie, Arenado. You got Contreras in the fold now. Perhaps the young Jordan Walker. I mean, there is damage all over the place. Donovan doing what he's doing.
Little flare into shallow center. That is gonna be caught. Cardinals are having themselves a great day defensively. That great catch in center saves a run. An off day for our crew tomorrow. Then we'll join you Monday. Cardinals will be at home this time as they'll host Skip Schumacher and the Miami Marlins. Jim Edmonds will join me for the broadcast beginning at noon here on Bally Sports Midwest. Jake Woodford is the scheduled Cardinals starter. It's 8-4 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kervin Castro, who pitched with the Giants and Cubs last year, trying to make his way in this revamped Tigers bullpen in 2023.
Well, again, I'm a journeyman. If I've bounced around a couple of times and been with some different organizations, this is where I would want to be if I'm Kervin Castro. You throw strikes, you get outs. You got a big opportunity here with the Tigers.
He faces Andrew Kisner, who takes a called strike. Again, we mentioned it earlier in the ball game. The Tigers trying to stockpile their minor league system, made a couple of bullpen trades this offseason. Gregory Soto and Joe Jimenez were dealt. And so Castro getting a chance. And he's a max effort guy. You can hear him grunting with every pitch. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, the key's in the breathing, Chip. You know that. Breathe out. He's got it down.
1-2 pitch.
Always like that, the guy that does the big grunt on the changeup. Like the big, then 76 mile an hour in there. Deception is everything.
That's headed foul off to our right. Kisner will await another 2-2 pitch. Sixth outing for Castro, until his last relief appearance had been almost letter perfect for A.J. Hinch. His first runs he allowed came on March 13th when he surrendered 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. That one got him on the way by. It ricochets out to second, and the peg to first in time. And that's out number 1 in the Cardinals' 8th. Chase Pinder, your hitter. He's walked twice, scored once.
Also made himself a really nice play out in left field on a sinking liner earlier. Having a good spring here in big league camp when given the opportunity.
Broke his belt on the play. You can see he has a new one, so he is in big league uniform here in the bottom of the 8th.
I mean, that happens in a minor league game. Hang with him. That's your belt now. Big league game, they got a new one for you.
There's a strike. Luckily, Pinder is not Pablo Sandoval sized. Remember with the Red Sox, he broke his belt, then couldn't find a replacement. That was a bit problematic.
That happens. That happens. That's where you break out the forget the leather strap. We're going to use the spandex one. We're going to get through this, or somebody get some rope. We'll figure it out together.
No balls, 2 strikes. And he pulled a string, and Pinder is retired. That's the second out of the inning. There's Jeremy Rivas. Rivas has singled and scored. Cardinals have 13 more hits today. And again, if you're joining us now as we approach the bottom of the hour, Matthew Liberatore started. As good as the offense has been today, Brad, the way Matthew threw the ball has to be the headline of this one, I would think.
Yeah, I really think it is. I mean, highly touted prospect, one of the better left-handed pitchers in baseball. Went out, gave you 5 strong, punched out 6, really command the strike zone, used his fastball all over the zone, and then finished off hitters with that breaking ball. He looked fantastic.
Cabrera, Rodriguez, Ludus, and Masevich have followed. And the Cardinals are 3 outs away from victory number 12 this spring. Check swing served off the netting. A ball and 2 strikes for Jeremy Rivas.
We'll take a quick second, too, to wish a happy belated birthday to a big Cardinal fan, Pam O'Fallon. Hope you enjoyed your day yesterday. I know you're watching today.
And a swing and a miss sends us to inning number 9. Happy birthday, Pam. Andrew Suarez will come on and try to get the... Another good day in Jupiter for the Redbirds today, who enjoy an 8-4 lead. We head to the 9th inning, and again the left-handed pitching bullpen competition continues. Now it's Andrew Suarez's turn to work.
7th outing of the spring for Suarez. Look at the numbers last year in Japan. Pitched overseas the last couple of years, Korea, then Japan. So far this spring has not been scored upon. He's done everything the Cardinals want him to do. Not an overpowering left-hander, but a very deceptive one.
When you say not overpowering, that radar gun rating is indicative of how the game has changed. He's still throwing 94.
Oh, yeah, harder than my best bolt.
Right? As he faces Michael Papierski for the Tigers. And up and away. Ball 2. We got a full count for the Tigers leadoff man here in the 9th. driven toward left. And that ball is going to hit off the middle of the fence. Papierski on his way to second, and he'll slide in ahead of the relay. And it's a leadoff ninth inning double.
Papierski just got the hands in on a fastball that was up and in. It was off the plate. Good job getting to it. And going to find out now. Suarez, runner in scoring position. How does he bear down here? See if he can keep that that clean spring that he's had so far. Has not been scored upon. Can he keep that up?
Seth Stevenson, the hitter, and that missed upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. You can see Suarez has got a good bit of rosin on the back of the hat, on the bill of the cap, on the front of the cap where the bird is. This ball is one hopped out to short. Runner will hold, and the long throw is in time. There's the first out. Point being, he may have had a clean spring. He doesn't have a clean hat. But compared to Steve Klein's hat, that thing is immaculate.
Boy, Steve Klein's hat could pitch itself. It had a mind of its own. You never know where you might need your rosin.
There was a cure for something on
for
Steve
sure.
Klein's hat.
For sure. A lot of living culture.
Diego Rincones is the batter for the Tigers. Steve's a great dude. Hope he's watching the game. I'm told by Tom Mee that the Cardinals had a Steve Klein hat giveaway.
They did. They did.
Please tell me it was not, shall we say,
they were manufactured.
I was going to say, please God, not naturally created.
Steve,
like
wear
Steve.
A couple of these and give these bad boys out. No, didn't quite do that.
One thing that helps with the spring training lids, you see the mesh back of the caps, not the full wool that you'll see in regular season play. Keep things a little cooler.
The only guys that don't like those are the bald guys. A little sunburn through those bad boys.
Well, I think they're trying to adjust to the cinnamon tan thing that you've created.
Yeah, but it's only about half your dome. That ends up being a little bit of a problem.
Little freckly look up there. Yeah.
Seen Skip Schumacher's had one of those before.
Well, I'll ask him about that for you on Monday.
Please do. Please do. I'm sure he's figured it out by now.
2-2 is out of play foul. Well, for the young guys in camps all around the major leagues with the WBC, I don't know that we really do have the dog days of spring training. There's so much on the line, so much tension for these kids, and they've performed so well. But I think we would all agree, Brad, no matter how the WBC ends up, as you alluded to earlier, everybody's looking forward to, in the next week or so, getting their team back, and then it really is a sprint to the start of the regular season.
It is. It is. And, yeah, you want your guys to compete well. You want them to show well on the biggest stage, but you do want to get your team back together and start to feel what that looks like for them. I mean, the teams that are in the championship, what are you going to have, 2-3 games potentially with your real lineup, and chances are you'll plug and play. You want to get a couple of games under your belt before opening day, the 30th against the Blue Jays.
Another 2-2 pitch for Rincones is on the ground to short. Tricky hop. No problem. 2 men are out. And with time dwindling down in this game, do you expect it to be a difficult transition for the pitchers who pitched in the WBC to reacclimate to the major league rules?
Well, I don't think in large part it will be, but I think for some there will be a question. And obviously the one that everybody, Cardinal fans, are thinking about is Giovanni Gallegos, who has been pitching for Team Mexico. That's the one. I mean, he's one of the slower. Him and Jonathan Loaizaga, the two slowest workers in the game of baseball. So that's the one. I know they were working before the World Baseball Classic out on the backfield, and they were working on it with the timer and getting him going. But that's the one that you'd like to see get a rep or two before the season starts.
Giovanni Gallegos got the save last night.
Sure did.
As Yadier Molina's Puerto Rican team was upset, I think it's safe to say, by Team Mexico.
I would say so. Randy Arozarena having himself a very good World Baseball Classic.
So in this game, we're a strike away from an 8-4 win. And a little low for Brendan Davis. And that is fouled at the plate. Barrera took some punishment.
Adam Olson, the Cardinals trainer, out there to give Barrera a little bit of a breather as that one caught him.
All you need to know, you heard from our crowd, Mike, as Barrera shakes it off.
You never know where you're going to get your analysis.
Yeah, and a great display of sportsmanship by Ryan Addison. Yeah, the men that wear the masks, they know what hurts, so they'll give him an extra moment to take inventory and await another 1-2 pitch. Plays like that remind you of the late great Tim McCarver when he said it so well, the tools of ignorance. The pitch to Davis is chopped toward third. Kramer Robertson with a strike, and the Cardinals have won it. 8-4 is your final. Redbirds hit a bunch of extra base hits. Taylor Motter a 2-homer game, and Matthew Liberatore was terrific, Brad.
It was just a well-pitched game all around for the Cardinals. Started out with Liberatore. You mentioned Motter. Burleson with a nice day as well. The young Mason Wynn with a couple of hits and a good Redbird win here against the Tigers.
8-4 is your final. We'll put a nice neat bow on it from Jupiter after our final break.